guys, YouTube, per usual, was being really, really stupid and wasn't letting me go live. It kept telling me to change orientation, despite the fact that my orientation was changed. Okay. Hello from Berlin. Hello from Michigan. Okay. I gotta change these chat settings. They're disappearing.
Okay.
I don't. Thank you.
Confirmed you're live.
Thank you.
I have it on my iPhone.
Yay! We're so good. Thank you, Sydney, for all of your help. I screamed. I was like, Sydney, am I live or not? So she was helping me. Okay, some messages may not be visible. Ugh, I hate this. I'm so sorry, guys. You would think at this point I would have this figured out. Hello, everybody. Here I am. I'm trying to get, like, all of them, like, I'll see the comments, like, one by one, and then they disappeared. I'm trying to get it to where I can, like, you know, scroll back and see the comments, because that's very, very useful for me. Well, hell, I can't seem to do that. I know. Well, Maggie, I think the issue is I've been doing it, hi Connor, vertically. And when I do it vertically, like it keeps the messages, but for some reason I think it's changed something with it being horizontally with the comments. This is dumb. Okay. Sydney, can I borrow your laptop so that I can see the comments? Thank you. Sorry. It's great to have a pal, right, guys? Great to have a pal. YouTube just doesn't want me to succeed. Hello, real Agus from Poland. Hello, Mira. Soph from Northern Ireland. Georgia from Germany. Hope everybody's doing all right. Are we feeling cozy on this Sunday? This is Grandma Autumn. Watched in Bosnia too. I'm watched all over the world. I'm everybody's favorite girl in the world. That's just how it goes. Are you stranded? Do you need water in the desert? If there's a cactus nearby, you should be able to cut into it, get some cactus water. Ew, weird. Look at that. It's autumnception.
I don't know how to show you the comments without showing you your face.
That's okay.
Okay,
but
I'm gonna go get my dog.
Yeah, Bowie doesn't like it when we leave him out of things, if you couldn't hear. From Pacifica, land of always autumn. Ooh. Okay, I can see comments now. Yay! First question is, how is Sydney still alive after becoming Daniel Manoli's new favorite gal? Not. Oh, it was so great. It was so great. I will cherish that video for forever of her, obviously the one from Eric, and then her like squealing and speechless and immediately watching it again. It was a good time. Denise says hello and she misses you. Is this who I think it is? Hi! Oh my god, way to stream at work. We love to see that. I wish that I could. Oh, well, I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I wish I could tell you more, but like, you just can't know. I would love to share the video that Eric sent, but I fear it might have spoilery stuff, so we can't do it. Watching straight from my Sim table. What's Sim? Andrea! You're the new admin! Woo! Guys, everybody, chime off in the chat, say congrats, Andrea. Why are you working on a Sunday if you're the admin? That's like the whole perk of being an admin. Let's see. Wait, what video? Well, if you do not know what I'm talking about, you can go to my Instagram, to my birthday post for Sydney, and you'll see a little, well, you'll hear a little cameo from a certain grizzled, grumpy old, or a favorite peepaw out there. I may or may not have gotten to tell Sydney happy birthday for her birthday. Like, what's the point of having these connections if you can't exploit them for your own gain, right? So anyways, hope everybody is doing well. So today we're pretty much, I'm gonna be going through, so I'm like waving as if you guys know who I'm waving to. I'm just waving in general as I see comments pop up. But train of thought, where'd it go? Can someone flag it down for me? I was gonna make, obviously, I said that I was gonna make a video after my teaser redraw video, with just like follow-up thoughts about the trailer and everything and season 3. And yeah, that's not happened. I kind of mentioned this to my patrons on my Patreon, but it's gonna be a while till we get more videos from me, just because I'm working on a lot of work in general, personal stuff, namely I'm creating a website because I figure that's probably something I should be doing now if I want more professional connections, just because something to point people to. You guys don't need to know that. But also, big part of my website, it's because, oh, Talamasca, don't worry, we'll talk about that. I will be posting, well, I really hope I'm posting, yeah, I'm gonna post reviews of the show. I'm gonna be all up in that shit. I'm so fucking excited about the Talamasca show, genuinely. Like, you guys know me. I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't excited about it. There's a reason I don't talk about Mayfair Witches anymore. Anymore, I say. I got excited for the first episode of season 2. It was, I don't know what it was. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day, and that's, I guess, what it was. Yeah. So I wouldn't be hyping up the Talamasca show if I wasn't genuinely excited about the Talamasca show. I know I talked about this in my San Diego Comic-Con, sorry, AutumnCon video, but yeah, that panel changed everything for me. Like, I was kind of like, I was cautiously optimistic, because as far as the Immortal Universe goes, we're 1 for 1. We've got, like, obviously supreme excellence with Interview with a Vampire, supreme disappointment with Mayfair Witches. So I was like, this could go either way. But the panel was phenomenal. The way that they talked about the show, and the characters, was just such passion, and it just seems like a very well thought out, well structured show. And more Raglan James! Yes! Ow! I'm so pumped! And they showed us an additional little clip at the panel as well, which was just, it was between Helen and Guy, where, like, she's at this, you find out, like, she was also, because, you know, the whole premise is, like, Guy finds out that, like, his whole life has kind of been fostered by the Talamasca. So everything he knows is a lie, essentially. Like, the decisions that he thought he was making for himself have been steered in that direction. And so in this little clip that they released, we find out a similar thing was true for Helen, but she went to, like, the school, like this Xavier school kind of, but not really. Because I got from that they had, like, some gifted kid, like supernaturally gifted kids, and then they also had non-gifted kids, and were, like, doing, like, testing and experiments on them and stuff like that, but not just to see what their powers were. So you got to have the controls versus the children with gifts, because it showed this little clip of them with like head stuff on there and everything. But yeah, it was a very fascinating discussion between the two of them. Do we know if Rashid is in the Talamasca show? God, I feel like again it would just be like a missed opportunity. Is Guy stand-in for Jesse Reeves, do you think? Are they still making Night Island? I don't know anything. Teal brought up in the patron comments, Night Island confirmed again. And I tried looking, I didn't see anything showing confirmation of Night Island being back in the game. So I guess we'll see. But there will be no David? I don't think so. And I'm happy about that. Fuck David Talbot. And all my homies said, fuck David Talbot. But as far as Guy being a stand-in for Jesse Reeves, I think they're doing a completely different thing, because Jesse's very much obviously ends up being turned into a vampire, and there's the whole backstory between her and Maharet, and I think either they're gonna have Jesse Reeves or they're just not gonna have Jesse Reeves at all in the show. There was an article where Mark Johnson talked about it. Well, how'd I not find that? Marky Mark. Yeah, I would love for there to be a little Night Island, even if it was just like a standalone miniseries, like 6 episodes. I would be totally fine with that. Like Armand fucking up the world, because you know the original premise was, you know, like thieves trying to steal art from Night Island. But I just kind of want to see Armand and what he gets up to there. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm trying to stay on track a little bit. Obviously, I'm not doing well at all. Anyways, back to the website, because I'm gonna start selling my own like shit on website. So we've got this one first up, talking about Armand. Disregard my little Armand sticker. We've got Claudia here, Spark in the Dark with her pink eyes. Spark in the dark. I just really love how these turned out. This one is Bad Bitch Alert, Daniel, walking down the hallway from my little redraw. We got Louie, haunt me, baby. And then I'm gonna do a little 3-pack thing with obviously this. Don't talk to me until I've had my blood piss. Naturally. So that's number 1 for Lestat. I bet. Number 2 here. And then Scream for Me, him diving into a crowd. So yeah. So keep a lookout if you want any of those. I'm hoping to get the website up and running soon. And later on, I will be doing a raffle for my patrons where they get one of these lovely stickers. So stick around, guys, because that's coming up later on. But I'm so thrilled Rollin saw your video and knows your stance on blood piss and other vampire physiology. Honestly, it's the most important thing. Like, the existentialism, what does life mean? Do vampires have souls? Who cares? I want to know what's coming out of them, okay? We know what's coming into them. I want to know what's coming out. So, what's coming out? So, well, thank you guys for all the compliments on my little art style. I gotta say, I think someone, I don't know what happened to, I think some people put questions on posts that because there are a couple of questions that I remember reading that did not end up in what I printed out. Someone asked me how long it took me to draw all of those, and I have to say, not long. I like straight up got possessed. I don't know what happened, but it was awesome. Like, I just drew pretty much nonstop for like 2.5 straight days. Um, and it was fantastic. Like, but when I ended, you saw I drew Armand and Lestat and Claudia too, because I just couldn't get enough. I was like, I need more. I need to keep drawing. So yeah, I don't know who took over my body and to create this, but God bless. God bless, because it was really fun. I had a lot of fun drawing them. I had a lot of fun making the video. Um, I was. I was locked the fuck in with the power of blood piss. Honestly, like that, the idea of drawing that, really propelled me forward. Like, until I got to that point when I would start to lose steam, I'd be like, but Autumn, you get to draw blood piss soon. And then I'd be like, you're right. I gotta keep going. You're like Nikki with the violin, honestly. You can ask Sydney. She was just like, how the fuck are you drawing these so quickly? I don't understand. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm just like grabbing a Sharpie. My eyes roll back in my head. And I just let God or the devil or whoever take over. Megan, yay! Glad that we've finally figured out who that was. Let's see. Okay, so have I read all of Anne Rice's vampire series? I don't know. Take a look for yourself. If you can't see, that's the Vampire Chronicles right there. Yes, I have. I'm well versed. Well, I wouldn't say I'm well versed. I've read them all. There's a lot more people who are way more well versed and scholarly and read them like a billion times, and that's not me. But I do really, really enjoy them. Rereading Blood and Gold at the moment. Peace, patience, and Godspeed be with you. Blood and Gold is a tough one to get through. Anyways, patron questions. We're gonna jump into those. So Gloria, first one here. Have you thought about selling any of your art pieces? Well, I'm gonna do stickers. I'm gonna do some prints. I'm figuring out which prints. I'm gonna do my triptych, obviously. So the Vamp Garden, the Creation of Daniel, and Parisian Gothic. I'm gonna be selling those. But if there were any more from my trailer redraw that like really stood out to you, I don't know. Try them off and let me know. So I just saw Danny DeCito, by the way, fantastic name. Really felt for Thorn by the end of Blood and Gold because having to listen to Marius rap for that long, it's a challenge. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I do, like, I think that was, like, really Anne's most, like, kind of historical fiction type story. So, like, I found that aspect really interesting. But, like, yeah, Marius just got really grating. And it was, like, I liked everybody else around Marius. Because he just keeps fucking things up for himself and then being like, whoa. So, yeah, Thorn. I thought Thorn, he was awesome. When you, like, first open up the book and you're like, oh, we're gonna read a story about this random, Scandinavian red-haired vampire. Interesting. Cool. He's like has some ties to Maharat. Very cool. And then like he gets to Marius's and it's like, no, we're gonna talk about Marius. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll read it. But yeah, like I said, I just ended up liking everybody else, right? Like Pandora, even Mael. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I say Mael, but I feel like that's probably wrong. Even him. because like at least he has like super strong convictions, you know. An abacus, yes. Who is? Oh, Bianca. Bianca. I hope we see Sydney. Creep. um, love Bianca. I really, really hope that they find a way to incorporate her into the show. Because I just love someone who like finally like makes. I mean, I guess like obviously everyone ends up leaving him eventually. But like she really does like make a stand for herself and be like, you've mistreated me so much, and I've done so much for you. I literally nursed you back to health. Like, you wouldn't be here without me. And yet, you're gonna just fucking leave me? Like, without even, like, saying anything to me? Come on. So, no, I'm making the choice to leave you. So now you don't get Pandora, and you don't get me either. I love it. And I even, like, before then, just, like, the weird like relationship between her and Armand and Marius and like them having like a weird threesome together and everything. Loved it. Like, give me more of that. It's so if we get like Marius stuff, I want it to be to introduce us to the people around Marius. Like, I understand his role within the Vampire Chronicles. He's like dad essentially. But you know, we all got father issues. So who's gonna like really want to hang out with their dad all the time and read a whole book about him? But let's see. Moving on. Elizabeth. Oh, this was about New Orleans. So I am going to New Orleans for Halloween, guys. Very excited. First time going to New Orleans. I've been trying to go to New Orleans since forever. Like, even before the show, before I ever knew about Interview with the Vampire, I've just always had a really deep affinity for New Orleans and just been so fascinated by it. Like, even I think it was like 2018, my mom, hi Anna, my mom bought me a map to like a travel guide book for New Orleans. And like for every year since 2018 almost, I've like planned a trip, like tried to go with my older sister because we both like really wanted to go. And like there's always something that goes wrong. And then finally this year I was like, it's happening. I don't give a shit. I don't care if I can't afford it, which I can't. But I was like, I'm done. I'm done pushing it off. I'm gonna fucking go. So I'm going, and I will be attending the Anne Rice Celebration of Life event as well. So, hey, come say hi, because I'll probably see you there. So yeah, if you guys are also going to be in New Orleans around Halloween, like I said, say hi. I'm also gonna be at New York Comic Con. Don't eat at Mother's. Okay. Noted. Sydney, don't eat at Mother's. I don't know. They just said not to eat at Mother's. I'm also gonna go to NYCC coming up. So yeah, if any of you guys are gonna be at New York Comic Con, again, hit me up. I do intend to do more fan interviews with the mic on this time. So if you go to the panel, AutumnCon Part 2, hello. Stick around after the panel, and you might see me hanging around, wanting to chat with you. Mira, you asked in here too if we were gonna have a community meeting at New York Comic Con. I would love that. I'm gonna say I'm terrible at organizing stuff. So similarly, like it was great for in San Diego. Gina, planned the cosplay meetup and everything like that, and Interview with the Vampire fan meetup. So like I went to that, and then that's where I got to talk to all the fans and everything. So, if anyone wants to plan something like that for NYCC, let me know. I'll post about it. But yeah, like I said, I've got like a lot of stuff going on. A lot of trips, a lot of like new things. Um, so I'm like maxed out on trying to come up with more stuff. But if someone wants to come up with a meetup, um, by all means, pass it on to me and I will post about it. What are we drinking today? Well, at the moment, we're just drinking some good old classic cold brew, but you never know. You know your girl. Things could change at the drop of a dime. Let's see. Tracy asked, I was rewatching the first season and I noticed the puzzle Daniel is doing in season 1, episode 1. Is there any significance to that particular puzzle? So the puzzle, it's The Fall of the Rebel Angels by Peter Bruegel. Bruegel. He was from Brussels. I'm probably mispronouncing the name. I'm sorry. So I think that in and of itself, it's, depicting the Archangel Michael, throwing Lucifer and all of the angels who followed Lucifer from heaven. So it's kind of depicting like the fight between good and evil. So I think there's like a little bit of foreshadowing almost there of like the fall of Lucifer, maybe like the fall of Daniel, even the fall. And also just kind of, because like Lucifer's whole thing, like his big sin was pride, and like thinking that he could overthrow God, and that's why he was thrown from heaven, in the stories and everything like that. So it's almost kind of too like, I think it's like a pride thing too for Daniel as well to go back and do this interview again. Obviously, he wants answers, so it's not just that, but I do very much think like there is an element of pride present within him that prompts him to go on, be like, I, did this interview with this vampire 50 years ago. I don't remember what happened, and I didn't do a good job. And like, now I've got the tools, and I think I can like stand up to a vampire who tried to kill me. Again, if that's not pride, Louis tried to kill him. And to like sign up and go back and be like, yeah, actually, I think I can get more answers from him. So yeah. And I think also too, it's really interesting because Bruegel was very much inspired by Hieronymus Bosch, which at the end of, season 1, the Mardi Gras celebration that they throw. I haven't seen this confirmed anywhere, but I like it's so much like it has to be referential to what the Garden of Human Delight by Hieronymus. Is that what it's called? Chime off in the chat. But that wonderful painting by Hieronymus Bosch. It was just such a. If you haven't looked him up, he's from like the 16th century, I think, and he does such strange, weird, surreal art that like you don't see a whole lot around other artists of that time period. Garden of Earthly Delights. Thank you, Tracy. That's what it's called. And yeah, so if you haven't looked up that painting, look up the Garden of Earthly Delights and then go back to like the Mardi Gras celebration, the dance and everything, and like look at what the costumes and masks that people are wearing, that huge, funky, weird centerpiece thing. It's all like symbiotic with that painting. And I didn't like it, that didn't click for me until I think like the last time I watched it. I was like, wait a second, because like the whole time I'm like, this is such a funky, weird like decorate, like I love the decor and I like, but I was like, this has to be referential to something. And yeah, the last time I was watching it, I was like, wait, like I was staring at the centerpiece and I was like, wait a second, I know what this reminds me of. So I like looked it up, and sure enough, I feel like it has to be referential to that. But again, like the Garden of Earthly Delights, like Garden of Eden, like this is what Louis and Lestat were kind of representing. So you kind of have like the false Garden of Eden that Louis and Lestat have created at the end. So then like to be at the beginning to have this kind of almost parallel um, with this painter who is inspired by Bosch with like depicting the angels being thrown from heaven. Yeah. And like Rollin and Mara are such like art nerds and history nerds and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like that was something that I talked about with Mara a lot. She was like literally every single art piece like that we put in there like was a discussion between Rollin and I and everything. Like nothing is just like we think this would be cool. We think this looks cool. Like everything has purpose. Which is just another reason why this show is so fucking phenomenal. The Savage Garden. I mean, the Savage Garden. Thank you. Years a cam. Yes, I said that correctly. The puzzle also feels like the same style. Again, these comments go away. As Marius's painting in the penthouse. Very, very dark. Okay, let's see. Christy, new patron, wondering who you suspect may have stopped time with the concert audience and why. That's a fantastic question that I simply, like, I don't know. Which I know that you don't expect me to know. I feel like it would be Lestat because that was either very first episode. Yeah, I think that was the like. You know, when they showed the behind the scenes little clip, it shows the clapboard. Oh wait, yes. Sorry, interjection, really quick. We'll get back to this. Sydney Dean asked, chat, this is off topic, but I would love to hear your duo Halloween costume ideas for me in autumn for New Orleans. We gotta decide. And just, you know, it's gotta be something that we can easily pack into a bag and is cost effective. Because my dream, Goblin King and Sarah, not cost effective. So that's out of there. We've discussed Trixie and Katya. We've discussed Stevie Nicks and Cher. But chime off. And Sydney will write these down. Right? I love this. But back to Christy's question. I feel like, so in that behind the scenes thing, like they had to have only had episode 1 filmed at that point, maybe started to film episode 2. So if it's early on like that, I don't think that we're going to be introduced to like some really powerful vampires yet, but I don't know. But I don't think that like Marius would be showing up, and I don't see Gabriella having that power because like Lestat is extra powerful because he's obviously came from Magnus, but also he's drunk from Akasha. So I just don't think that we would be introduced to someone else who is that powerful that quickly in the show. So I think it would be Lestat, just kind of like, I don't know, just needing a moment. Or like he sees maybe Gabriella in the crowd and is like, everything stopped. I'm out. We're gonna go have mommy son time. Who knows? Me and my girlfriend are being Armand and Lestat for London Comic Con. And so that's our Halloween costumes for this year. Yeah, I think we would both want to be Lestat. Let's see. Could be Armand, but he might still be hiding in episode 1. Well, the thing is, so people asked too, this was a question that popped up a couple times of people being like, why wasn't Armand in the trailer? Why wasn't it? And it's simply because Assad wasn't there yet. Like, I think he'd gotten to set like a week or two before Comic-Con. So I think that maybe they probably just didn't have enough. Like if they had footage of him, they probably just didn't have enough footage of him. I don't know. For it to like be cohesive with the trailer that they made. So I think that's probably why he wasn't in there. They just didn't have the footage of him yet. So I don't know if like why he would be freezing the crowd if he's not going to be present. Because I don't think that would be the type of prank that he would pull. I think he would like try to set the building on fire or something. Let's see. They're keeping him hidden like a little treat. Yes, they are. This is kind of off topic. Back to the Talamasca show. They kind of hinted towards, obviously they're going to have crossover. We know Daniel's going to be in it. We know Raglan's going to be in it. But at the panel, I think it was Mark Lafferty said, yeah, you're going to see some familiar faces, like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, even within the first episode. Which got me really excited because, again, he's hinting towards up to 4 familiar faces in the Talamasca show. So, Daniel, Raglan, potentially Rashid. Unfortunately, there's another show that they could pick from. So it could be like fucking Cyprian or, I don't know, whoever that woman was who ran the Amsterdam house from season 2. Who cares? But it seems very clear that the Talamasca is aligning themselves a lot more with Interview with the Vampire realm, which I think is very smart. I think they've caught on to which show is the better show here. So I'm hoping that maybe that those other 2 unknown people are from our show. Oh, that was a good question. Do you think the Talamasca show will be happening simultaneously with the Vampire Lestat or in the few years between season 2 and 3? It is between the years between season 2 and 3. So the Talamasca show. So this was the, again, back in my AutumnCon video, I was like, Eric made a comment that I felt like was spoilery, but I don't know if it was or not. Like, I don't know if they are trying to keep this hush hush. And I was like, I'll say it in my Talamasca video. And again, I've just not had the time to make that. But that was it. Eric was like, yeah, so Talamasca takes place after season 2, but before season 3. So that was really interesting to figure out like where Daniel is and everything. And I don't know, I felt like I saw John and Mark and like the other cast on the panel kind of be like, not sure if that was supposed to be shared or not. But also, like, once the show starts coming out, it's going to be obvious, right? So I don't know that that necessarily was a spoilers. But yeah, so it is happening. Talamasca takes place before season 3. So there we go. Daphne and Velma. I mean, that's classic. That is classic. Can't take that man nowhere without spoilers. Very true. Eric is just excited. Truly, he's just really excited about stuff. And I think he's like, listen, I'm going to give you good information. And if it's a spoiler, oh well. But I'm pumped about it. Next question. Oh, that's not a question. Mira. Oh, okay. So, Mira, we talked about community meeting at NYCC. Do I know who the cast will be there? I do not. And even if I did, sorry guys, I'm not gonna be the one who lets that cat out of the bag. This is public. They could find out that I shared that information. So we're just gonna have to wait and find out who all is gonna be there. But let's see. General question that I forgot to ask on the last live. This is from Teal. Has doing the Interview with the Vampire interviews made you interested in pursuing film journalism and doing interviews for other shows and films? Or is it something you only enjoy because you're a big fan of the show and not something you're interested outside of that? Which is a great, great question. Thank you, Teal. I I've thought a lot about that. I don't want to do it like I wouldn't want to do it generally, just like for, any, kind of, and not to say that I could potentially ever get to the point of Amelia de Moldenberg. That's her last name, right? I always fuck it up. But like Chicken Shop Day or like Brittany Broski, she's out on the red carpets now. And again, not that I think I could ever get to that level, but like I've thought about it. I'm like, is that something that I would be at? Like, do I want to pursue that? Like trying to get to that level? And I don't think, like, I don't want to have to pretend like I care about a bunch of people's projects that I don't care about. So yeah, I just want to mainly, I will say, like, there's other shows and movies and things like that I do really love that I would kind of like to reach out to people and talk about more. My kind of white whale that I would love to, I've been wanting to make a labyrinth video like since last year. I started planning it out, and then just life and everything has kind of gotten in the way. But I really want to do a deep dive on labyrinth. So yeah, like I would love to reach out to is Brian Froud still alive? I'm pretty sure he's still alive. And like Toby Froud. I know because he's doing puppetry still, just like his mother and father and everything like that. Wendy Froud, Brian Henson. Like I would love to talk with like those type of people with something that I am really passionate about. But on like a general level, no. But I will like it's really funny. I never ever thought I would want to do interviews. Like I remember, and I've said this before, but I remember, before Interview with a Vampire and everything with my videos blew up, thinking, if I ever do gain any sort of success in YouTube, I'm so glad the type of videos I make, no one would ever expect me to do interviews because talking to people, no. And then here comes Roland Jones and Adam O'Byrne being like, hey, so we thought you could do these interviews for us. And I was like, I don't want to do that though. But I actually, like, I really enjoy, it's really fun and enlightening and scary, but in a good way. Lucy and Ethel. Who was it? I think Kai told me recently. Something Sydney and I did, or maybe we did, was very Lucy and Ethel. Interesting. Rami and Michelle would be great. 1 second. Autumn, I think they should ask you to be an extra in the Vampire Lestat. Well, I think so too. What a dream. What a dream. I would love to be murdered on camera. Or like, I mean, is that not what we're all searching for? Is just to be like killed by a vampire? Oh, that'd be great. Roland, help me out. I'll become a vampire. Sam said that when I met Sam, he was like, do you wear contacts? We got to make Autumn a vampire. You can put contacts in, right? And I was like, let's make me a vampire. So, I'm just saying, the Brat Prince demands it. Who are we to shirk aside his demands? Let's see. Okay. Next up, Savannah. Let's talk about Lestat playing a violin. Also, Sam has mentioned in several interviews the hypersexuality of his character and hinting that the show will expand on why. I'm assuming Gabriella is that why. I'm just glad that they are not shying away from their weird bond. Honestly, same too. Sorry, I just saw message retracted on the comments and I'm very curious what the message was. But anyways, yeah, the him talking about Lestat's hypersexuality and like being like having that like thrust upon him, I think it's such a I love that that's like within their minds and top of mind. Because I just think it's such a interesting a facet to who he is as a character, and then also just like the really complicated role that gender and sexuality does play like within the books, and then obviously also the show as well. um because like having like being sexualized from such a young age, obviously it happens like to men too and everything, but it's like a largely female problem. I'm not going to say like it's exclusive but I mean, like growing up as a female presenting person, it's inescapable pretty much. Like from the moment you're a young girl, you're being sexualized and prepped for the moment. And people are like waiting like wolves to like pounce for like when you're legal, and a lot of times before then. Um, so again, I think it's like such a interesting like way to examine that, but then also like with Lestat and obviously like who he is doesn't really like um conform to a whole lot of like gender ideals, but then is also like has such like strong, is like meant to be like the essence of masculinity, and ego, and like all of these like elements of like representing all of these elements of the patriarchy, um and everything. And then when Akasha comes out and everything, she's like, death to all men except for you, but it's because you are like the ideal man. um while even like within himself, yeah, there's just like so much complexity at play there, um that is just like opens itself up to like so many good dramaturgical moments. And yeah, like let's see, um Mira says, I think it's a trauma reaction, and like that very much too, yeah. Because a lot of times, people who've been abused like as a young child, a lot of times they go like sexually, one way or the other, where they do like really go into like hypersexuality, to kind of deal with that, or like the other route. And again, this is generalized speaking. This is not, I'm not like, a psychological, I have no ground to stand on with this. But um yeah, hypersexualized, or like the opposite, where it's like pure abstinence, like I don't touch me, don't do anything, like that. So yeah, um it's just so, again, the show does complexity so well. And I think there's like just so much intrigue to like look into with like, no, I really, really do enjoy this. And I love like indulging in pleasure. And this is my way of, like one of the many ways in which I can indulge in this pleasure. And I love it. And this is part of who I am. But then also like, but is it also tied back to like what happened when you were a child? But that is also a part of who you are. It's all very, very interesting, and I'm so ready for them to explore that more. I love that at this point we're all vampire psychology scholars. Yeah, I know. Not gonna lie, the stuff we're gonna see between Lestat and his mom and his dad is gonna break me. I hope we get some kind of bonding moment between Lestat and Daniel commiserating about their bad childhoods. Yeah. I just hope we get some commiserating all around the board. Cause yeah. I think this is gonna be such a whiplash season, because it's gonna give us like so many high energy excitement, um, lust. I mean, come on. Oh my god. Who's not gonna be like barking out the window watching him, but then also kind of being like, am I part of the problem? um and then yeah, with paired with these like really heartbreaking scenes too, what with like his upbringing, his childhood, Gabriella, his dad, Nikki, Marius being abandoned by Gabriella, all that jazz. Also, I know that people have reached out wanting to know my opinions on like all the stuff that's been leaked. And I honestly, this might come as a shock. I'm kind of trying to stay away from it, even though it's really impossible and I see most of it. Just because I want to kind of, like, what I enjoy is like piecing together a puzzle from like what they give us, you know? So I kind of want to just like rely on like teasers and trailers and like stuff that they release. And I know with like my teas for season 2, like I did use some leak stuff, but the thing was, we had like 3 things leaked because it was over in Prague and it just wasn't as accessible. So we didn't have like this inundation. Whereas now I feel like with it being in Toronto, so many people are going up there like every week we're getting something new. And I'm almost like, like I don't like let us see this shit when they want us to see this shit. Like they're putting so much work into building this up to be like this really phenomenal show, and they've spent like 2 years writing it and like 6 years at this point for Roland Jones conceptualizing this season. He said he like came into um the reason he came onto the show and decided to do the show was to do this season. Like this was like so I kind of just want to like wait and see from the show what happens, which like by all means that's a personal thing. If because like I have friends who like eat up all of these leaks and like want to know all the spoilers and like would like read the scripts if they had them, and I wouldn't, because I love surprises and I love being shocked. So yeah, like again, so I'm kind of trying not to like think too hard on the stuff that like is leaked, because I want to piece together information from again what they choose to give us. And then also too, I think sometimes like people see things out of context and then make a lot of like really grand assumptions, and then they get these hit, because I kind of saw that a little bit with season 2, like even with some of the stuff that got leaked, which again it was very little, where it was like this big headcanon and then it turned out not to be true at all, and so that was like pulling the rug out from some people. And I don't want to have that feeling of like, oh, not that like I would be excuse me, God, not that I would be disappointed in anything they do, but yeah, I don't want to like come up with too many ideas again outside of the context that they are providing for us, to try to figure out what's happening with season 3. All right, moving on. What are your thoughts on them announcing the casting for Baby Jinx, but not Jessie Reeves? Jessie Reeves, popular topic, unless that was you, Jess, who brought that up earlier today. I hear ya. I watch a trailer and my mind starts spinning. True. Again, possession. I'm like a cat with a hairball, and that hairball is like everything that I just took in, and I gotta gestate, cough it up, and then boom, my video is the hairball. Thoughts on them announcing casting for Baby Jinx, but not Jessie Reeves? Pumped. You know why? Because I remember last year, like after season 2, and of course we're thinking about season 3, and then naturally after that comes Queen of the Damned, and I was like thinking ahead, and I'm like, you know what? When they do Queen of the Damned, I was like, I know that they're not gonna do this but I would love to see Baby Jinx on screen. I was like, I know that they're not gonna incorporate her because her arc is not important to like the overall story that they're telling. It's just like a little blip. It's one chapter and then she's gone. She's not necessary by any means, but she just kind of helps fill out the story and kind of give you like within the book, it gives you like this little bit of suspense of like, okay, all these different disparate vampires all around the world who are not connected are suddenly going up. Um, so yeah, going up in flames, quite literally. So I was like, oh, but I just would love to see, like, even just a reference. Like, if we just got like a little motorcycle gang and a little blonde girl and we saw them go into flames, like, we don't even, I was like, I would know that's Baby Jinx and I would be so thrilled. Um, but yeah, so when they announced that Baby Jinx is gonna be in season 2, I was like, what? But really excited. Because I didn't think that she would make it into the show. And it kind of makes sense because she is like, her chapter is all about like her like trying to go get to the concert, you know. She like really wants to see Lestat. She thinks he's a cool guy. She's not one of the vampires who's like going there to like try to kill him or anything. So I think incorporating her as like a groupie is really, really interesting. And Sydney and I were talking about this, and Sydney um, was like, oh, well, I think that he's going to be a mentor figure to her. And initially I was like, oh, like she's a groupie. Like she's going to be like hanging around and, you know, sleeping around with him and stuff, I'm sure. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I think she's onto something. I think like they could for sure have like this whole, I could totally see them kind of almost like making Baby Jinx like a daughter figure to Lestat. And if they fuck around still too, listen, he has a fucked up sense of family. So like whatever. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. But I don't know. And again, this is all of me talking out of my own ass. So none of this could be true. But I just think conceptually it'd be really interesting to have him like have this kind of new daughter figure. And then like if we have Claudia coming around haunting him, being like, oh, okay. So what's this? Are we trying 2.0 now again? How'd that turn out the first time? And then I think also, because I think the introduction of Baby Jinx is almost like fattening up the lamb for slaughter. They're giving us a character for us to like fall in love with, I think, so that when Akasha does come, which I like, Akasha's coming at the end, like that's how we're ending the season, right? That's how we're ending the season. That's yeah. I'm just so confident on that. I think she's gonna die, and I think he's gonna have to like go through like this happened again. um, so yeah, because and like how gut wrenching would that be? Um, so who knows? Who knows? That's just what I'm thinking. But introducing her before Jesse Reeves, I think that makes sense too, because I don't think that they necessarily need to introduce Jesse Reeves before we get Maharet. And like Queen of the Damned proper. I think I saw someone say, let's see, Sam said, hear me out, I think they will introduce Jesse in the Talamasca season finale. Could be. Could be. I'm really interested too with the like, I just, yeah. I mean, obviously there's so many, sorry, I forgot to turn off notifications, so they keep popping up. There's so many routes that they can take with this. I'm just curious what their long-term plan with the show is. Because what I've seen so far is really exciting, and I'm like, this would make a great miniseries. And I just, obviously there's lots of potential for like a, you know, spy, supernatural spy world and everything. But yeah. So if they were to introduce Jesse Reeves there, kind of, obviously she'll have to pop up in Queen of the Damned and borrow a lot from both of them, but who knows? I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry. Do you also hear the music? Are you talking about my music that's playing? Or Talamasca is giving major TMA vibes. What's TMA? TMA. Total macho assholes. Teenage Mutant Ninja assholes. The Magnus Archives. Thank you. Sophia got me always. If no one's got me, I know Sophia's got me. Let's see. Not trailer specific. This is from Meg and Sarah, but I feel like for season 3, I have a pertinent list of things I want to see, like storytelling, key points, etc., and talk about. And impertinent, less pertinent list. Top of the less pertinent list is the Mastiffs. Absolutely. Puppy stat means a lot to me. Let's see the great big doggos and then the baby new ones too. I want a lot more enthusiasm amongst our people for doggies coming on the scene. And we know that Sam loves dogs. We know that Sam loves dogs. You know he's advocating behind the scenes for, like, he's like, oh, shucks. Don't you think we need, this scene could use one more dog though, right, guys? Because he did have, didn't he have, was it 3 or 4 mastiffs that he took went to hunt the wolves? Sorry, it's notifications, go away. I'm so pumped for Mojo. Mastiffs too, yes, but Mojo, the like mind-reading dog, they're like on the same level. But I don't think Mojo's gonna come around this season. I talked to Sydney about this because she was like, I want to see Mojo, and I said, no, not yet. He's not stable enough yet. Not that he ever is. But this list, I can't care for a dog at the moment, so he doesn't need him right now. But also, maybe the opposite. Maybe this will be the one thing that he cares about. His great big German Shepherd. Because I love German Shepherds. I love German Shepherds. My mama, growing up, had so many German Shepherds. Greatest dog I ever had. Oh, well, I didn't really have her. It was my dad's dog. Her name was Molly. She was a German Shepherd Coyote mix. How does that even happen? I don't know. Softest fur in the world. Honestly, when she died, they should have made her into a coat. Just to, like, honor her. Where did that fur go? It's rotting away in the ground now. For what? But she was so gentle and smart. She was just like I feel like she could like understand what you were saying. Do I like cats? Do I like cats? I love cats. If I wasn't recording on my phone right now, I would pick up my phone and I would show you the open tab of a cat named Fuchsia at the animal shelter. That every now and then right before I go to bed, I look at her and I just dream. But I don't think I don't think people should get pets if they're not in a good place to have pets. And I don't think I'm at a point yet where I can like care for another animal to the extent that it needs to. Despite me wanting one really, really bad. But yeah. Especially like with all the travel and everything like coming up and just like unknowns in my life. There's like too many unknowns happening that, yeah, I wouldn't want to bring a new pet into that and like immediately not be there. I do want to volunteer at the shelter because or at least just like go there and hang out with the cats. Cause yeah, that would I think fulfill that need in me. But yeah, I don't think I'm responsible enough yet. Or just like stable enough yet with just everything going on to have a kitty. But there is a little kitty on the other side of the block who comes out. I posted about her on my Instagram story. Meow. That's her name. Meow. She's a little orange cat with orange eyes, and she's so cute, and she's so precious, and she's a little runt. She's the tiniest little thing. I want her so bad. I will say too, I think especially with cats, a lot of people end up with cats just because like they come across them in a parking lot or like they show up on their front doorstep and they're like, oh, well, I can't leave this little guy here. And then they end up like caring for them. I think that's really lovely. So I think if you're in that situation, by all means. And if that were to happen to me, I would probably take a cat in. But yeah, to actually like make the decision to go out and get a cat when I don't feel like I'm ready for it, I don't think is very fair to the cat. So cat screamed instead of meowed. Ugh. That's frightening, but also kind of a serve. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Sophia, my girl Sophia, asks, smaller detail, but I've been wondering about how they'll tackle the language in flashbacks in the 1700. The 1700, there's only one. 1700s. And the book Lestat says, oh yeah, this was all in French, by the way, but I'm curious if, given how much time we're going to spend back then, if it's all going to be in French for the actors, given they've established that pattern through season 2, or if Lestat will pull a similar thing for the readers with Daniel and just say, I'll translate for you to make it easier, and the actors will be speaking English. Honestly, I think either way works. I think just because they established, I could see them having them all speak in French, just because, again, I think that they're nerds. Like Rollin and the writers and everything are nerds and would want to, you know, hear it in the original language. And also, you know, they know that obviously the goal is for the show to get like big and be really, really successful, but they know that it's a small show with a niche audience who's very passionate and cares a lot. So I think we're a bigger show. They would probably like definitely just do English because they wouldn't want to turn anyone off and be like, ugh, well, I'm not reading that. Whereas with this show, I think they trust the audience enough to be like, no, you can read. You can do it. But also, yeah, like Lestat does do that in the book, so I could see him being like, okay, this is, listen, from what I'm telling you, it's just going to be in English. Because I think with them establishing that within the show with season 2, you know, that was Armand's perspective, so you could just be like, well, that's how Armand told the story. Whereas with Lestat, you know, and that could be a differentiation too with, you know, storytelling and narrative of like, yeah, and Armand's point of view and perspective, everyone's speaking like their natural languages that they would have been, whereas with Lestat, he's going to translate it all for us. So either way, but I think that's a fantastic question, Sophia. Oh, this was Teal talking about the Night Island series. I'll have to find that Mark Johnson article. Cause yeah, I looked it up before I started this to see if I was like, was there some news that I missed? I feel like I would have learned about it, and I didn't see anything. So if anyone wants to send it to me on Instagram, but I'll look it up later too. But Teal also asked, as incredible as Lestat's outfits were, is there anything you're hoping he'll wear in season 3? I'm needing an OTT Mardi Gras full drag wig snatched moment. Sorry, I got distracted by comments, but I don't need to do that because I just read. It's at the very bottom of the article and it says Night Island and Memnock. Memnock? Where? Okay. Where? Send it to me. Show me to me, Rachel. Teal. Send it to me on Instagram or Patreon or whatever. Anyways, back to your original question about the costumes. I would love to see him in like a full Elton John, like feathers. Because obviously, yes, we saw him in the like Marie Antoinette. But yeah, I want like the 70s, 80s sparkle drama. Like we saw the kind of 1700s referential drama from New Orleans. But I want to see all that glitter and gold and glamour. I want to see him in a jumpsuit, like a one piece. Oh, there's this, again, I wish I wasn't streaming on my phone. I could show, let me see. I'll pull it up. I've got Sydney's laptop here. Elton John outfits. There was one that I mean, there's a billion of Elton Johns. Like, obviously, like Bowie too, I love. Um, but a lot of times Bowie's were like very, like, out there and crazy, but like still stuck to his body. And I want to see the full, like, you know, um, come on. Full, like, feathers on the shoulders and like big sunglasses. And where's this other one that I found that I just adored? I mean, all of Elton John's looks are phenomenal. Um, oh, come on. Help a brother out now, Google. Hello. Just full on silence. Okay, well, this isn't necessarily the one that I was thinking about, but like this yellow one here, like full jumpsuit with the fur. There's like another one where he has like this big long like fur not coat because it doesn't have like the full sleeves and everything with it. That's just phenomenal. And I love it. I would love to see Lestat in something like that. Um but yeah, anyways, back to chat. Sequins, sparkling vampire. um do we have at least one big black cape shown in the behind the scenes video they released? Oh, we do have. I was like, yeah, they showed it in the behind the scenes. That's Sophia. She knows. Boots with the fur. Absolutely. Okay. Where are we? Maggie. Louis' lawyer being a vampire, maybe. Question mark. Also, being the Moses Sumney. Question mark. I feel like I don't think that he would be a vampire because I think Louis would want a lawyer who isn't limited to the night. Someone who could operate during the daytime while he's, I mean, obviously we've seen that he can still operate in the daytime, but he's a little groggy and maybe not as on his shit. So especially too, because I mean, Armand even makes the comment like that Louis is a younger vampire, so the pull of the sun makes him want like not as clear. So a fresh vampire. Well, I'm just assuming that Louis would be turning him, but that's not necessarily, if he was a vampire, wouldn't necessarily be true. He could have just found him out in the real world, a vampire lawyer. But yeah, like I said, I think he would want someone like who could operate in the human world if he's still doing like human businesses and stuff like that without any issue. I see another message retracted. All right, is this, I had an issue last time where it was not showing certain messages because it was like flagging them, and I thought I turned that off. Okay, well, it's not letting me change it. That's great. Anyways, back to Louis' lawyer potentially being a vampire. Like I said, I don't think so. I've also had people ask if we think that they could be an item. And I go back and forth because I'm like, on one hand, again, I feel like Louis wouldn't necessarily, I think he's too smart to get entangled with his lawyer. But also, Jacob's talked a lot about this is a new, let loose, fresh Louis. So maybe he's being a little bit more reckless with his judgment and decisions. So I don't know. in that case, like, by all means, go for it. That would be a fun little detail for them. But yeah, like in my gut, I'm like, I feel like Louis would still, he is a businessman, would know to separate kind of like business and pleasure. So not get a dalliance with his lawyer, but also hot lawyer. Come on, like why not? Do it for the girlies. Maggie says that's a good point. Actually, I saw people posting about his nails looking like vamp nails, but maybe that's just Moses having nice nails. What could we know? What could we know from those 2 pixels that we got from that recording? I will say there was someone else made a comment too when I, like, for my redraw video, the drawing of Lestat looking out on the skyline in the pit house and everything while he's playing guitar, and someone was like, oh, he's not playing guitar though, he's there with they said, they were like, he's there with Louis, and Louis' head is on his shoulder. And I will say, so I initially thought that Lestat was there with someone as well, and I started drawing that, and it wasn't until I got to, like, I was sketching out the waist and I was looking back at the photo for reference, and I was like, oh, they're floating. There is no waist. Wait, that's not a person at all. So I could see how it does look like initially at first glance that it's a person sitting beside Lestat, because that's what I initially thought too. But then when I like actually looked at it and like started looking at the form and started drawing it out, I was like, oh no, I'm pretty sure that's him holding a guitar and playing a guitar, because you can see there's a gap from the thing underneath there. Chelsea! What's up? Oh my god! Sorry, it's my good friend Chelsea. If you didn't figure that out by me shouting out Chelsea. I really hope Moses is actually one of the children of the millennia. Louis already knows Fareed, so maybe he knows Seth? I don't think Fareed's a vampire yet, though. I feel like maybe, I don't think that Louis would be involved with the Children of the Millennia yet. I feel like they're really going to come on strong with Queen of the Damned, you know? It'll be like a big gag moment of like, oh, yeah, we're the old ancient bitches up in here, super powerful. What are you going to do about it? So I could see like Fareed and Seth already like working together and everything. But Fareed was like an established doctor already, and that's why Seth was really interested in him and then turned him later. So yeah, they could still, like, Fareed and Seth could be hanging out, but I don't necessarily know that Louis would know Seth. But maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Lots to conject upon. I thought it was Louis having a cuddle too. I know. I thought that it was, I didn't think it was Louis. Just because I think, like I said, I was like, oh, it's probably, I was like, it's that person that Lestat's leading back to the pit house from that shot earlier. But then, yeah, when I like looked at it closer in my possession state, I really think that he's playing guitar. Let's see. I also like the idea of Louis always trading up. Okay. Before I get to the Instagram questions too, I like bouncing back and forth. I got very long multi-bulleted question here from Mira, so I'm gonna try to break it down, kind of skim over it. I'm always interested in speculating about what's going on between Louis and Lestat and how their interactions will be. Aren't we all? According to end of season 2, I hope it will not be like this negative vibe, like with the scene with the lawyers. I mean, I think it's like we're gonna get again, and we've talked about this too, like they're not gonna be lovey-dovey happy with each other going into season 3, because obviously Lestat is very pissed off about the book. Louis is also pissed off about the book. Lestat's feeling hurt and is gonna lash out, as we're seeing from that lawyer scene, the mediation scene. But I do like, I think they know at this point, like it's not just gonna be like them butting heads. I think we probably will get to see like maybe a few scenes of them like having connection, but why do these messages keep getting retracted? Come on. There are comments I see here that are not popping up here. I'm so confused. Sorry. But yeah, I think they like are eventually they've turned the corner to eventually being able to like be together again. But yeah, we gotta like pace it out. So I think we will maybe like get a few scenes of like more calmness and like, or even not calmness. Like he absolutely, we gotta get at least like one like angry fuck scene in there, right? Like, come on. It's been a whole season since we've seen them two together. Oh, we got like the one makeout, the Lestat makeout in season 2. And like it wasn't even really Lestat, so we gotta, okay? Gotta hear those ass cheeks clapping. But yeah, I mean, they're both hot-headed, but in different ways to like just really rile each other up. So yeah. Have faith, Mira. Have faith. Let's see. I don't think we can expect positive development before season 4. I think, no, genuinely, I do think that, and again, this is coming from nothing, I feel like maybe, because TVL ends with, like, what? Louis and Lestat finally reconnecting. And I know that we kind of had that already in season 2, but that was, hey, thanks for chiming in. But that was more about recognizing their grief with Claudia. So I think they're going to have another similar kind of like, hey, I want to stick around you a little bit more kind of moment, you know, another kind of sort of reunion thing at the end of the season, just to rip Lestat away again when Kasha comes out. Because I get like that, it's like so, it works so well like within drama as well to kind of have them like butting heads, but eventually like maybe trying to reconnect and figure this like shit out, but like not consciously. Yeah, it just makes like for such good TV to finally get what you want, to finally give your audience what they want, and then take it away. So we've discussed leaks. Really quick overview. I'm trying to stay away from them. But I go into more depth as to why earlier on in the stream. So later on, if you want to like go back and rewatch it, by all means. But yeah, so I don't think it's gonna be, I don't think we're gonna have to wait till season 4 to see like positive development between Louis and Lestat. So have faith. Let's see. Also very curious about what the Talamasca changed in the book. And the new Talamasca trailer, they mentioned that they dropped the name of Guy's mother in it. And I have no idea who she could be. Me either. It's very fascinating. Again, they're doing a great job. I think Talamasca's doing a good job of obviously being referential to Interview with the Vampire and stuff without it seeming like forced interactions. Like I think they're just using the basis of the world that's been created really, really wisely. To Does Louis not like himself in the book because in retrospective sight he doesn't like his own actions, or that he was portrayed much worse in the Talamasca version? I think it's the latter, because I think we saw with season 2 that Louis has come to own, like, he doesn't like how he reacted in a lot of ways and his actions in the past, but he's come to own it. So I don't think that he would be like coming at Daniel and being like, so what was this about? I didn't like me in this book. Because I think if it was like true to the story that he told, again, he would have the responsibility and be like, sucks, but yeah, that's how it went down. So I do think that the Talamasca deliberately changed shit in there, as we saw with, you mentioned the train scene. No, you don't. Someone else did in the Instagram comments. If that was made up. You know what? Obviously, so it came from Louis, whether that was maybe an implanted memory from Armand, or maybe Louis was exaggerating a bit. Who knows? Let's see. I'm nearly sure they will not adapt the whole books 2 and 3 in the season. No, yeah. I think season 3 will end with Akasha kidnapping Lestat, and we will get much more narration of Marius in season 4. I don't necessarily know if we'll get Marius narrating season 4. I think they could, like, obviously Daniel's sticking around, Louis sticking around, so for the non-Lestat stuff, have them kind of be the focus. Gabriella as well. But yeah, I agree. I think that we're gonna end with Akasha kidnapping Lestat. Okay, we're gonna move on. Let me look at some comments. I think it's great your anti-leaks team has put so much work into the season. They stress me out. Dude, yeah. Same. I'm just kind of, like, again, like I was saying earlier, I'm like, they have a narrative that they want to, you know, have unfold. Like, they put so much work into, like, putting all these pieces and everything of the show together, that I don't want to get the jump on them just for the sake of me being like, I know it. I know this now. Like, I want to allow them to seduce me. So that's all I'll say on that. Okay. We've talked about Louis and his lawyer. Aaron back asks, so Delaney is just playing Claudia, right? Right? And, what's a girl got to do to get seduced around here? Honestly, I'm leaving my legs open to the windows and nothing's happening. Low-key, I'll be relieved when production wraps. Same, honestly. I'm just hoping that they can keep, like, the really good shit in, to really gag us all. Cause yeah, I love a surprise. I love a surprise. And again, if you want the leaks and everything, by all means, like, look for them and everything. I don't like that it's so proliferated to where it's like, I'm trying to avoid them and yet I don't. Like, I still see them. Like, everybody, like, so I appreciate it, guys, if, like, you trying to make me aware, but you don't have to send them to me. I know that it's like, the idea is like, oh, have you seen this? Oh my God, we're so excited. And if you haven't, I want to help you out so you can see it. I don't want to see it. So, but okay, so this Delaney theory thing. Oh, one more thing. Louise, sorry. I saw Louise comment and I gotta see what Louise says. My main issue with leaks and the culture discourse around them is how entitled people seem to feel towards them. We are owed nothing but a great finished show. That's what I want. Yeah, true. And I think too, like, I also think, okay, I said that was all that I was saying. Last little thing on that, and then I will move on, I promise. Like, it's one thing as well, because I've known, it's also an issue for, like, because Discord's a big thing. I'm not like really big into Discord. I think I just get like overwhelmed with like a lot of people talking, which is just a personal thing. Um, but yeah, like people will have like their friend groups, and like if they like share shit on Discord and then it gets leaked from that Discord. Like I think that sucks. Like if you didn't intend for it to be out there as well. But yeah, it's like it which I think is like a bigger issue in general that we won't get into, but almost like people kind of like infiltrating Discords just to like leech information, um, which just seems like that wasn't the point of it, you know? And if it is like because there are all sorts of different types of Discords. There's Discords where it's like, hey, this is a spoilery one. Anything you get, we're sharing. But yeah, I've just heard from various people be like, yeah, I like posted this and I wasn't meant for everybody to see, but someone took it from the Discord and now it's out there. And I don't think that's very cool. Yeah, because just because someone like wanted to share with their friends doesn't mean it's for everybody. So yeah, I like gaming with friends, Discord. Discord overwhelms the shit out of me. So many messages. Yeah, I know. I'm someone where like even if I see like too many messages from like fucking Sydney or my sister or whatever, I'm like, and I don't look at it. Okay, moving on. So this Claudia question. I think they're referencing, and I think someone else asked me about this, and I don't know where that question went, but this is a theory that I've seen pop up multiple times, of the potential, some people thinking that Delaney's gonna come back to play Akasha. No. 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 And I think it's because the reason why people kind of came up with that idea was the way that Damien Holbrook phrased the question. Like when Rollin announced Delaney was coming back, he was like, but is she coming back as the same character? And Rollin was like, I think he was referring to like, is she gonna be coming back like as flashback Claudia or ghost Claudia? I think that's what that was in reference to, of like her coming around to torment Lestat. And again, we've talked about this. Oh, well, I think we've talked about this in maybe Patreon streams of whether or not it's going to be like actual Ghost Claudia or if it's going to be similar to Ghost Stat, where it was like just a manifestation of Lestat's guilt, manifesting itself as this hallucination of Claudia. Or again, is it going to be a real ghost? I want it to be real ghost Claudia. I've always wanted real ghost Claudia to exist. But that's just me. So I think that's what's in reference to. I like cast it. Hey, look. Sorry, it's just like I don't mean to like make if you thought this was a possibility, I love your wonderment in the world. But I saw that and I just immediately was like, absolutely not. What sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. First up, Rollin said he wanted to announce who was playing Akasha in San Diego. But the ink hadn't dried on the contract yet, so they still like couldn't announce it. So I think like had it been Delaney, which it would never have been, like they would have announced it. I think they would have announced Akasha had like the casting been like a set done deal. But also just narratively, it doesn't make any sense. Like why? 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 I just, like, I just, and it would be so weird because, like, again, obviously, like, incest, like the relationship between Gabriella and Lestat, like, there is like straight, like, blurring of lines between like parents and children and everything like that. But like that's not the relationship that was shown between Lestat and Claudia in any way. And I think there would just be such a, like, Claudia is supposed to, like, it represents Anne Rice's real life like daughter who died, and to like then resuscitate her and have her be a love interest for her father, like, you know, it just doesn't, it just feels like it would be a slap in the face of like to who Claudia was, you know, and what she represented if they like used Delaney in that role, especially in the role of Akasha. Like, yeah, no. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm seeing comments pop up and I want to see if anyone has like an explanation that maybe I'm looking past. Let's see. I think it's great to keep the casting of Akasha under wraps. Honestly, me too. Me too. I saw someone else put in there that they didn't want to know who Akasha was until the episode. Same. I was kind of like, when Rollin started to say like, and I like Akasha, I was kind of like, oh no 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 no, don't give that away yet. And yeah, I hope they don't, because I don't want the grand reveal. I don't want to know until she's on screen, and it's like, ah. But again, I love surprises, so that's just me. If Claudia looked like Akasha, then Claudia would have been treated very differently. This isn't the Vampire Diaries, you guys. And then Ari says, not gonna lie, if Bailey came back as any character, I'd be hyped, but not Akasha. Oh, well, they said Delaney back as Claudia. I was like, was that what they meant? But no, they said Delaney. I have a pipe dream, so like I know that this won't happen, but like, in an alternate dimension, Ghost Claudia is a mix of both Bailey and Delaney. But unfortunately, like, Bailey's still like tied up with Avatar and everything like that. What a world that would be. But obviously we got Delaney back. Bless you. And that's what we care about. With love to Roland, I hope the eventual Akasha casting announcement is more polished than him just holding his phone up to the room. I know. That was so funny. I'm like, they had pictures of Lestat lined up, like the promo pictures. I'm like, why didn't you give the headshots ahead of time to the projectionists so that they could have the headshots of all the people cast? Yeah, that was very funny. He's like, will the camera get this? Holding up his iPhone. Jesus Christ. At least the theory with the same actor for Magnus and Lestat's dad makes sense. I could see that more than Delaney and Akasha. The Armand reveal was so fun, it'll be even more fun to only see Akasha for the first time in the episode. I agree. Yeah, we're all in agreement, I think, here. That we all want, sorry, I'm still reading. That was Camp of Rollin, actually. Honestly. Yeah, truly. He's like, whose season is it? It's Lestat's. Everyone else, yeah, you can look at this phone. Anyways, okay, moving on. Oh my god. This laptop is really hot. Give me 2 seconds. I'm still here. Don't go away. I'm doing the elevator, technical difficulties music. Don't fall, please. Oh my god, don't. Stop it. She's still here. What's she doing? Oh my god, amazing things are happening. Off camera. I can't wait to find out. It's too hot. Too hot. Um, okay. All right, Diana says, I think the idea of actors coming back in new roles is what I first saw used in Deadwood, which Roland does famously love. And it appeals to me for Interview with the Vampire, since Roland keeps saying the cast is like a theater company. And then, let's see, Bumsiness. Sorry. Also going back to the Delaney as Akasha, Delaney as Claudia is supposed to look 14, so it would be weird for Delaney to be Akasha who was turned at a different age. So I want Delaney to return as another character, and Akasha is the most likely one. And I also want Ben Daniels back. Autumn, do you want to see Alice? Oh, I thought you were asking, like, if I was like, can you show me Alice? I thought you were saying you have a cat named Alice because you have a cat emoji next to it. Hell yeah. Like, are we talking about Show Alice? Yeah, hell yeah, I want to see Show Alice. But no, Diana, I think those are great points. I do think, though, I just feel like, I mean, I know Rollin does love theater and says they're like a theater company and everything like that, but I think he does kind of recognize the, you know, differences between like theater and TV shows. And I kind of like, again, Claudia's just such a key character, and with like Delaney portraying her, as much as I love Delaney and her performance and everything, it would almost feel kind of, I don't know, like she's Claudia. And I think I would almost like take away from Claudia a little bit. To me personally. To see her like in a different role, because then you're always going to kind of conflate the two, because it's not theater. That's the thing about theater is, you know, you're sitting in an audience, you have like there's a different realm of like suspension of disbelief. Like you might have seen them play this actor in a different role, but for a whole different, you know, company. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But I want Delaney to keep coming back, but as Ghost Claudia, and only that. Okay, let's see. Did you catch more lyrics from the song besides I'm a Little Killer? I couldn't hear any of it. Sophia, I could catch some of them. Sophia did a whole transcription for me when I was going to do that longer video. Let's see. Oh, this isn't my computer. Damn it. But if she's feeling up to it, I don't know. I'll ask Sophia, and I can post what she transcribed, what she believes the lyrics are, because it is hard. There were some where I was like, I genuinely don't know. Quite a few that I genuinely don't know. Also, there's been big discussion. Is it bang bang or is it bay bay? Like, you know, baby or bang bang? I obviously clearly thought it was bang bang, but I've seen a lot of people thought that it was baby. But like when I watched it in San Diego, which is obviously like the best audio quality, and again, maybe I wasn't paying that clear attention to the lyrics, but I really like walked out of there and I was like, bang bang. So I thought it was bang bang, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Guys, I'm as infallible as the next, okay? I'm like a little piece of onion paper. I will not stand up in the rain, okay? So I try not to be that person that's like, this is what's going to happen, and this isn't what's going to happen, and this is this, when it's all conjecture anyways. Okay, cool. Sophia says it's cool to share, so I will definitely share on my Patreon. I'll probably put this lyrics up on my story too on Instagram as well. Jess says it's bang bang. I heard the song back in May. I kind of wonder if that's the song I would have heard There's this whole situation where I could have potentially heard a song, but my timing was off, so I didn't get to hear it. And I wonder if it would have been that one. The real question, Prince of the Future or Past in the Future? I think it's Past in the Future, but again, it was very... Why haven't they released... Just give us a song. If you're not going to give us a trailer, give us a song. Give us a song. Come on, guys. Give us something. Do we think the corset outfit is happening in a club owned by Louis? I've seen this theory. Someone else asks about the... somewhere about the conspiracy of like the DD with being like the Louis de Pointelac initials. I think that would be very, very fun. Because obviously he's like rolling up, screeching to a halt, getting shit-faced at this club. Maybe he tears it apart in some way, and that's why him and Louis are in mediation, because Lestat tore up his fucking club. There's other leaked stuff in association to that again, I wish I didn't know, but I won't talk about it. For the people who haven't seen the leak associated with that. But yeah, I think that's a very fun potential for Louis owning that club. Oh, I was looking for the question. The very next one was the DD logo also spelling Louis de Pointelac. If it is, genius. Genius. They're so good at what they do. All the way down to like the graphic designers working on the show. So yes, Dee Dee, Dracula's daughter. Yeah, for sure. But there's, I wish I had, do I have a pen nearby? I wish again, if only I wasn't recording on my phone. A lot of people are speculating that with how the DD looks, I'm gonna try to like replicate it. Again, very kind of bad. Yeah. Okay, worse, whatever. But it kind of like, so L, Louis, and then D, de, point. So like the P with the intersection, and then the D, do, and then L, lock, which also, I mean, it could just, D is a very versatile letter. Hi, Sydney Dean.
Hi. You said the laptop was hot.
Oh. Thank you.
Does it need to be charged?
Let's see. Are we good? Let's see. Everybody say hi, Sydney. Everybody say hi, Bowie. It's at 39%, so maybe. Yeah.
I also bought a pen.
Oh, thank you.
Where does it... Where's your plug?
Let me find. We know. No, that's not it. Where are you? No. I wonder if that would work. Would that short out my lights?
Let's see.
We blow the breaker again. Oh, that's not fitting in there. Yeah, no, that's not working.
It might be able... Well, no, it's not.
There is a plug, because these are over here, like behind the lamp somewhere. Behind the lamp, behind the couch.
I got it.
You got it?
Keep talking.
Well, I'm talking. Okay. Can we expect an NYCC little interview with the cast? I wish, man. I wish. It was when I went to Comic-Con in San Diego. It was really funny. I sat down and was like talking to a bunch of people, and then these two girls who I was sitting next to. Thank you, Sydney. You're a gem. These two girls were like, "Oh, like you're Autumn. You did the interview." They're like, "Oh, did she unplug my lamp?" She did. How dare you? But these two girls were, like, we heard that you're doing interviews, like, with the cast. Yes, you were doing interviews with the cast yesterday. And I was like, oh, you did? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I mean, I wish I was. I was just hanging around San Diego. And they were like, okay. And I was like, no, really, I've not done any interviews with the cast while here. And I could tell that they didn't really believe me, which is a fantastic place to be. I love that I've created this air of mystery because when am I telling the truth? You never know. But yeah, I don't have anything lined up for NYCC, unfortunately. There's a lot of stuff going on with all of that, but whatever. Why did you guys plan a little something? Girls need to push those connections ASAP for the love of God. Trust me, I am. But they're also very busy. I'm not their top priority, let me tell you. Which, they're very lovely. We are keeping in contact, I will say that. But yeah, top priority is just getting this fucking season done. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But nothing for NYCC. As of now, we'll see. You keep saying things, and I genuinely can't say if you're confused or hiding secrets and shit. I love that. I love that too. I've done such a good job of that, except for when I accidentally revealed that the interview with the vampire was going to be at San Diego Comic-Con on that one live stream. But I thought it was common knowledge. And then I started questioning myself, and I was like, is that even happening? Do I even know that that's really happening? Like, my genuine crash out, I was like, actually, what if I just told these people that they're coming and they're not? And I'm lying to them. And I was like, oh, fuck. Did I just lie to them? I don't want to lie to, like, my dear beloved patrons, but like, yeah, no, I knew. But that's what I do. I start questioning everything I know about myself. Is my name even Autumn? I don't know. I think it's absolutely happening after this show airs, though. I can see that in your future. Your live crash out in slow motion, truly. I extended it so long. My brain kept saying, move on, stop it, you're only gonna make it worse. And I was like, no, I can dig my way out of it. But anyways, like I said, I keep in contact, but we'll see where that contact leads. But your girl's gonna keep pushing. More of a statement. Surely the blood piss serves to subtly verify that it's also blood cum, right? Remember in episode 1 when they start levitating and then you get like the close-up of like the 2 drops on the floor? And like, that was you, Megan? Blood cum! Yeah. And I was like, I just thought it was like 2 drops, you know, coming down from Louis' neck on the floor. But if they pee blood, then again, we can assume they cum blood. So was that neck blood or was that blood coming from somewhere else? I think we have a whole different way of looking at that scene now. Well, not really. I mean, sexy times happened, so yeah, but still. I think we've seen evidence of the blood cum already. Yeah! Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it right now. Not right now. Wait till my live's done. Please don't leave me. But yeah, they like levitating and then you see like on the beautiful herringbone hardwood floor. I'm like, ah, classy, but you need to clean that up before it stains. Roses are red. I fell out of a tree. Dropped the trailer for season 3 from Armand's Familiar. I don't know why you need the trailer when I released it already. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I want to. I can't. There's so many screenshots that I want to print out. I've been saying that like ever since I moved, but that I want for my desktop background that I just don't have good images of. From the aptly named account, Sam Reed's Happy Trail asks, will you talk about Lestat Schlong? If I see it, I'm talking about it. We'll see. Above all else, your girl's horny, okay? So if it gets brought up, it gets brought up. What do you think happens in the meeting according to the hints that Jacob gave? Oh, the kind of, I mean, I think the whole theory of like Louis owning Dracula's daughter makes a lot of sense. And then, yeah, Lestat did something to fuck it up. They're having mediation over it. Schlongstadt! 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 Yes! Not the AMC, whatever. This is an HBO. Also, I actually, no, I don't need to know Sam Reed like that. Not that they'd probably use like a double or something. I still gotta look this man in the eyes at some point, eventually, hopefully, right? But I'm always, if you watched my Velvet Goldmine reaction video, you saw my pilot perfection ass. Hell yeah! Anytime we get like gorgeously framed, like really wonderfully contextualized nudity, perfect. But Velvet Goldmine, when Kurt Wilde rips off his pants, oh, I was going nuts, if you will. I was going bananas, if you will. What a time. What a time. So, it's just about the character. A character being that bold, reckless, incompetent. It's really admirable. Like, it's not even about, like, the, like, sexualization of it. It's just, like, again, about the type of person who would do that. Love it. Let's see. How has the trailer changed your season 3 predictions? Not a whole lot, to be honest. I know I was going back and forth in my trailer prediction thing where if they were going to split TVL into 2 seasons or 1. And like even before, like after season 2, I thought that they would just do it in 1 season. And then I started talking to other people. And this is why you should never talk to other people. I'm just kidding. Where I was like, oh, well, a lot of other people seem to think that they're splitting it into 2 seasons, so maybe I'm wrong. But I still think that like that could, but from how they've discussed this season, but it seems like they're doing all of TVL in this 2nd season, because they've already they've talked open, like they're talking about Akasha, which I know that like they would want to have her cast for the flashbacks and stuff like that. But even at the San Diego panel, Sam was like, and yeah, and the season, the story, like the season ends with Akasha coming up and saying, "Shush, little man." Like clearly that's where they're heading. And to like do this whole tour and like have a final tour. As I said in that season 3 prediction video, I 100% see them staging the final tour in New Orleans on Halloween night as being like the big kidnapping scene. And then yeah, obviously I was proved wrong about, well, and I said this in the teaser video of like, I don't know why I would question whether or not they would be bold enough to like embrace the incest between Lestat and Gabriella. But I wasn't sure, but they are. So cheers to that. Let's see. And I'm still feeling pretty confident about like I don't think that we're gonna go back to the 70s for Daniel and Devil's Minion and everything like that. But but present day Devil's Minion, like at least Armand and Daniel. It's happening. It's happening. Let's see. Looking at, oh, sorry, we have comments. Teal. Admirable incompetence encompasses Lestat completely. Absolutely. Autumn, has anyone told you you're a comedic genius? I'm trying to breathe here. I mean, it's been stated once or twice. Thank you, Maggie. Sam did say he kind of had to sell his soul a little bit, so maybe he was referring to that. And if his soul is the cost, then shucks. Sorry, my guy. Will we get some between Louis and Lestat or not yet? If we don't, I'm rioting. I feel like Queen of the Dam kind of functions like a part 2 of TVL already. Yeah, same. Like they're kind of like one. It's all one story essentially. So yeah, it's almost like part 1 and part 2 already. So I agree with you there. Sydney Dean says, which Nikki scene are you most excited to see? All of them. I've talked about really wanting to see his turning scene and Lestat having the vision of the bird flying endlessly over the ocean. Obviously, the huge fight between him and Lestat when he's going crazy on the violin and he like demands that he like Lestat give him the theater and just, like have it be the theater of vampires and everything, like and like the scene when Lestat goes back. Okay, so like 2 scenes. I feel like they need to have, if they do have the scene of Lestat going back to the theater, I think the preceding scene leading to that moment is another scene that I absolutely adore, because obviously like Lestat cut ties with everyone in Paris, like doesn't want them to know what he's turned into. But like he just can't like leave Nikki alone, so he goes and he just sees like how he like has to see Nikki, like just to see him and see like how he's doing. So he like crawls up like the side of the building or whatever, and is like peering into the window, and he hears like Nikki raving to some of the other actors and everything, and he's like, no. And they're like, Lestat left Nikki. Like, I'm sorry. You gotta accept it. And he's like, no. He would never leave me like this. I heard a scream. You know, the room was all disheveled. The window was open. Like, he was taken from me. I know that Lestat wouldn't just leave me. But, and then, like, all of a sudden, he, like, gets, like, the feeling of, like, a presence. And he looks out the window. And Lestat's like, shit. And Lestat doesn't think that he really sees him. But so Lestat like scurries up the roof, like up to the roof, and like Nikki comes out the window, and he's like, Lestat, like, are you out there? Like he knows, and Lestat's just like up on the roof, and then Nikki starts playing the violin, like the song that they used to listen to, like that he used to play, um, for them, like trying to like lure him, like Lestat, to him, and Lestat knows it, and he's like really sees that Nikki has been crushed by this and like cannot move on from this, and it's like just so crushing because Lestat's just lying on the roof listening to the music and like thinking about like all their times together, and that's like when he's like, okay, I have to see him. And then so yeah, so then he goes to the theater, and you know, oh, and that whole scene too is amazing. It's so good because he's like in there and like like everyone of course is like, oh my god, Lestat, and like hugging him and everything, and then suddenly like he has that horrible realization that he wants to drink their blood, and he like it is, and he just sees himself as this monster. He's like, I really am not one of them anymore. These are not my brothers and sisters anymore. Like, how could this happen? Like, they're so full of life. I was on stage with these people. This was my family. And now, like, I have this bloodlust, and I, like, just want, like, to consume them. And I see them as, like, meat. And he's horrified by this. And then, like, he goes to, like, clear his head in his old dressing room that him and Nikki shared. And he goes in there, and it's untouched from the last night he was on stage, meaning that Nikki hasn't set foot in their shared dressing room since he was kidnapped. There's like dust on the vanity and everything, and like his wig and like makeup from the last night he was performing is still all exactly how it was, like capturing this final moment of his humanity, unperturbed. And then of course he goes out on stage and he's like, I'm a monster. I'm gonna show you what a monster I am. So yeah. Like just very off the top of my head. Those two scenes would be great. Should we start drinking? I mean, if you're down. I'm done with my coffee. Whatever you want to give me. Isn't this great? This is what life's about. It's not, don't let friends and new girl try to make you feel bad with their little comments about like, I'm 30 and I still have roommates. If you don't have roommates, who's gonna go and bring you drinks when you're live streaming with tons of people on the internet? You gotta get up and do it yourself. Lame. It's already past 5 o'clock in Europe. There, it's already past 5 o'clock in Europe. We're good. It's perfect. Nikki Era is gonna be maximum emotional damage. And fuck, I can't wait. Me either. Anyways, let's try to it's 6 a.m. here and I haven't gone to sleep yet. Pulling vampire hours. Ooh. Why haven't you gone to sleep? Surely not for my benefit. But if so, like, I'm flattered. After 9 p.m., 10 p.m. here, wish I had a drink. Maggie, go get you a drink. I'm having a scotch and I can confirm I had to get it for myself. And that's heartbreaking, Megan. Gut-wrenching. I should always be able to snap my fingers and then drink appears. Okay. Let's see. Is the Gabriella wig intentional and a hint to her hating her hair, having gender dysphoria? Ellen I. Jelly asks that, or Eleni Jelly. Either way. I don't think so. I think that's just the wig. But I think it's just the wig. I think the whole And I think in the modern times it looks really like I think it's a cunty bob. I do really genuinely think it looks great. Um in modern times. I just think the problem with like um the past wig is that it's so straight and so like flat that I'm just like there's no way that that's accomplishable without a flat iron, you know? And that's what throws me off about it. Like I wish they like put some dirt in it and like roughed it up and gave it a little bit more body and volume and everything in there. But no, I don't think the wigs that we have seen have been um necessarily referential to her gender dysphoria. I do hope though, like we do get to kind of see that whole arc of hers with like with her being turned. Like I love in um the Vampire Lestat when like she kills her first victim. I think it's her first victim, and she takes his clothes. Like she's wearing like they steal clothes for her. Oh, he can come. They want to see him anyways. Hi. Hi.
Here, I'll have him pose.
We'll have him pause.
We'll have him pose.
Oh, he's found my trash.
Oh, perfect.
Just what everyone wants to see. Hi, Bowie. You want to say hi? Say hi. Oh, of course. He's got to lick the feet.
So
What's
happy?
up, Bowie?
You feel included?
Yeah, you're part of the stream. Everybody loves Bowie.
Everybody loves you.
Yeah.
So handsome, he's a star.
He's a star. He's freshly cleaned.
Just like me.
Yeah, we're all fresh and clean in this place.
Yeah.
What did you find? Oh,
He
my
found a
sticker.
cork. Those
Oh,
are his favorite.
he loves corks.
I got this one. I couldn't remember which one wasn't the gross one.
Oh, that one's not the gross one. Yeah, you got. Thank you very much. Everybody say bye, Bowie. Bye, Bowie. He says no, thank you. I wanna be on the stream more.
Yeah.
Oh, tired.
He's sleepy. It's sleepy hours.
It's sleepy hours. You can go your blankets upstairs.
Yeah.
Your blankets upstairs.
Okay. Bye.
No, I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
Go.
Andrea, you sweetie pie, thank you. He's such a brat. Done. Crushed it. He doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do. He's really funny too. This morning, every time I went upstairs, he would get off. He would like perk up and look at me and like get off the couch in a way that was like, oh, I guess I've got to like get off the couch and come like say hello. But then I would stop and I would wait for him, and then he just walked right by me into the kitchen, and I like looked back and was like, I don't know what I did. It's our first interaction in the morning. He's like, I'm gonna make you think that I'm coming to say hello. But really this isn't about you. I was just getting off my comfy couch to just walk by you and let you know that you're insignificant. Very cold. Oh! Is this intentional? Wait. I think she took half of it. I was so confused. Oh, no! I was like, and it's warm. Thank you, Sydney. She just put it... Thank you. I didn't see the drink. I just saw the can. And I was like, oh, she just brought me a quarter can, a warm quarter can of a canned cocktail. Yeah, you did. I would have still drunk it though, bitch. Ah, refreshing. This is Huckleberry Smash. from On the Fly. They could or could not be discontinued. Who knows? The Huckleberry Smash is very tasty. The Whiskey Smash, floor cleaner, not tasty. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Oh, thank you, Chelsea. Bowie acts like Lestat, it seems. And it just loves licking everybody too, so honestly. Yeah. How do you think they're gonna frame the whole Marius, Armand, and Lestat little daddy complex triangle? Armand finding out Marius's life. I hope in the most crushing way possible. I hope Armand loses his fucking mind. I hope he's angry. I hope he's so angry. Because he should be. He deserves that anger. But also I could see him like not, because you know when you have someone who you idealize so much and like think could never do wrong. I mean, it's like kind of how it is in the books where he's like, oh, well, he had his reasons, I guess. But yeah, I want Armand to be on the like precipice of like full gremlin next season, and then yeah, when he finds out Marius is alive, to be like, you know, these papers are going through it. Sorry. I contrary to popular belief, I don't hate Marius because I love what, again, he presents within the show. I think his dynamic with all the other characters is just so juicy. So I am excited to see him in the show. But again, I think my like appreciation for Marius is not necessarily for himself, him as a character. I'm like, fuck you. But I love again, yeah, what I just said, his relationship to all the other characters. Because it really is, it just presents, he's just so much to so many of them. So it really presents a lot of gnarly, twisted complexity. For, like, there's ample room for hurt feelings and idealization and all of that. I'm excited to see Marius and Gabrielle too. I always got the vibe from the books that Gabrielle was not putting up with Marius's shit and like is constantly just like, oh, this fucking guy again. And I think that would be really great to have in the show because obviously Lestat idolizes Marius, Armand idolizes Marius. Like even like Pandora and Bianca, like at the end of the day, they still like very much love him. So I need someone who's like, fuck you, which I think Daniel will be like that. Especially if he like talks to Armand a bit. Even though it's a different situation in the books, but obviously we're doing something different with that whole character. But yeah, I need someone with like real vampire authority to be like, I'm not impressed. Because everyone else is so impressed with Marius. So I just really want her to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go back on my safari or whatever. Need Daniel to call him out, please. Okay. Do you think they're going to explore Gabriella's gender nonconformity and sexuality more? Oh, yes, this is what we were talking about, I think, when we were gladly interrupted. But yeah, I do hope that they, obviously we are exploring the sexuality more because we got her swap and spit with a lady in the trailer. Very exciting. But yeah, I want to see her like that, you know, trying on the men's clothes and shearing off her hair and like making the decision to like be vampire, not man or woman. I'm a vampire. I think it's really cool. So I, yeah, would love to see them go into that more. And I do think with like and what we've seen from the trailer in the modern times, she is more like very female presenting and everything. But I think even that can go with, like, I mean, gender, sexuality, it's all, especially within this show, very fluid. So I think it would be really interesting to see her go from like obviously having to be the mother that she never wanted to be and like play this really, really stark feminine role, then immediately get turned and immediately do like the exact opposite and like really masculinize herself. And then like once we get to the point to where we see her now in the modern times, maybe she's like found more ground between the two of them. Um, and like learned that, okay, you know what? I can like present more feminine or more masculine. I mean, she's like in her little blazers and everything, which we love a power blazer. Um, I just full on dipped my hand into my drink. Love that for me. Um, but I can still be like gender non-conforming or like whatever I want to be without necessarily living up to a certain outside aesthetic, you know? And even now, like women are not, obviously there's much more progress and headway to go, but obviously coming from where she was to now, I'm sure she would view women in a better light now. Because I mean, also there's all the like things going on like within the books. Anne Rice's own very, very, very complicated relationship with gender. That's got to be factored in. So I think they're gonna do something that, yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do with her because even when I like talked with in my interview with Hannah Moscovich, like she brought up how like obviously what a fascinating character she was and like her and obviously like Hannah, if you look at like her work and her plays and like the series that she's worked on and like written in the past, very much focused on like there's a lot of very heavy themes, but like I don't want to say female struggles because that sounds like very condescending, but like just like a woman centered battle with like sexuality and like sexual like assault and like studying gender. Um, that was something that she brought up in my interview of like she's such a fascinating, you know, Gabrielle is such a fascinating character and her like nonconformity to gender and all of that. And so and she's like right there beneath Rollin, like in the writer's room, like with the power and everything. So I think, and obviously Rollin, that's something I feel like Rollin is interested in too. So sorry, carbonated beverage, it's gonna happen. I do think that that's something that they should be exploring and will explore. So yeah, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Thoughts on Joseph Potter's Crocs? Listen, you gotta stay comfy, man. I'm sure he's like walking around in those 17th or 18th century little heels, and they try to make them comfy for him, but it's probably just not what he's used to wearing. Okay, so in between takes, you take them off. Also, you can't be wearing them outside and everything. They're costume. Um, you could like break because it's getting all of your weight on them. So yeah, wear a Croc. I think they're fabulous. Delaney also. Isn't there a photo of like? There's definitely. I know Delaney. We talked about her wearing Crocs. I feel like there's a photo of like Delaney and Roxanne in Crocs. From behind the scenes. Crocs are the shoe of choice, apparently. I've never owned a pair of Crocs. So, I mean, chime off in the chat. Are they the most amazing, comfortable pair of shoes you've ever worn? I wouldn't know, but they seem to be a cast favorite. Um, did I go through this? Am I missing anything? OMG! Oh! Final question. Someone asked, and again, I don't have it here, but I don't remember who it was who asked, but someone asked me if I was ever going to upload my newsreader reaction videos. And maybe it was B, because B is obviously a big newsreader fan. But again, it's another white whale of mine. I filmed all of it in February with like oh, Maggie, it was you. Okay. With the great intention of like, yeah, making a big video right then and there. But then February was rough. That's like when everything came crashing down, and I was like, I have to move. I can't live in Canyon City for one more year. But I was like, I don't know where the fuck to go. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. It was a lot. The beginning of the year was a lot. Yeah. So I had to like put everything on pause and yeah, figure out where I was going. And there was I nearly ended up moving back to Tennessee. It was a really high contender, which I didn't want to do, but I just was like, I don't know where else to go at this point. But yeah, I was just really not doing great where I was, and I knew that I needed to get out of there. So dealing with that, and then also the newsreader. Season 3, it really broke me. In a very specific and personal way. There's like one moment. It's funny to think about now. In episode 5, Sydney, block this out. When Dale's like at its desk and like pours the mug full of whiskey and is just listening to the comments, and they'll just get like progressively worse and worse and worse, and that zoom in on his face. And I had to pause. Sorry, spoilers to anyone else too. Sorry, spoilers. It's not like a huge spoiler. I think you can see where it's going. But I had to pause. Like I tried to like keep what I could like feel. Obviously, I've cried on camera before, and like whatever. I'm getting more used to it. But I was like, and I was like, it's fine. You're not. It's fine. You don't feel it. It's fine. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. It's fine. And I had to pause, and I was trying to. I don't know why, but I was like, no, I can't cry. I can't cry. Yeah, I'll do this whenever we can. I mean, that's all I'm going to talk about. So if you've heard that, I'm sorry, but it's not like a mega spoiler. And yeah, I was like, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. This is fine. Like, this isn't even like the worst thing that you've seen from this season. Like, this is not, we've seen worse things happen to him. But it just like, was like, really? I guess, I hate to use the word triggering, but like, I was like, yeah, that was me last year. That was me. And I just like full on sobbed for like a minute and a half on my couch, just being like, don't do it, Dad. Don't do it. Autumn, why did you do that to yourself? So yeah. So it was also very complicated for me to try to talk about it at that point, and I don't think I was quite ready to talk about it at that point for all the personal stuff that it kind of brought up with me as well. So yeah, but then now we're like into, I'm very like, I'm not good at multitasking. I get very like one track focused. So I'm like in Interview with a Vampire mode. So I have it sitting there, and I like, I want to go back to it and finish that video because I love the newsreader so much, and I think it deserves like a video, especially for like the finale season. So I do very much have intentions of finishing that video at some point. It might be next year. It might be a full year after I filmed it, and you guys will be very happy to see the cool casual couch again for the last time, because I obviously filmed that in my old apartment. But yeah, I do want to finish that video because I think there's a lot to be said. And I think I do like want to kind of talk about just the experience of it all for me personally. I think it would be cathartic to kind of get it out there. Um, 'Cause yeah, it's heartbreaking just on a plain level, just for anyone watching the show. Um, okay, you can chime back in too, Sydney. um, but yeah, just again on like a personal level, it like brought up a lot of personal stuff that yeah, I felt like I kind of similarly went through. Obviously not on the same scale that he did. That I kind of would like to talk about, but we'll see when that gets to happen. Um, Release it when season 3 drops on AMC. But like, what if that's in like the height of season 3 Interview with a Vampire coming out or leading up to it? Sam breaks my heart with his performances. He just does internal emotional damage so well. He does. I like don't even understand him and Anna Torv. I just don't understand how people can be so good at like saying absolutely everything with just a look. And it's like so much. They say so much with 0 lines. And it's wild. And I know that's their job, but like it's one of those things that like even really good actors, like not everybody has. And like it takes like really great, meaty powerhouse performers to be able to like convey on that level. Just so many emotions just with like nothing. Oh, they're so good. Oh my god, they're amazing. Like it's similarly to, if you guys haven't checked out the newsreader, similarly to Interview with a Vampire, how it's just like knockout performance. Like you want to see like great performance, watch the newsreader, because like obviously it takes a hell of a performer to be able to go toe to toe with Sam Reed, and Anna Torv is right fucking there, matching him like blow for blow, like not literally in character wise, but like they just feed off of each other so well. Oh god, every time I remember that scene in the season 1 finale and the way they look each other, god. And I love you just the way you are was improvised. It was improvised. What the fuck? That's knowing your character. It's a great show. I've not watched Fringe, and honestly, I've watched Mindhunter for her, and Mindhunter is phenomenal as well. But I've not watched Fringe yet. Can't thank you enough for this rec. That show hit me so hard. Good! I'm glad. It's phenomenal. I think everybody should be watching it. It's not to like stereotype, but every time I have Australian customers, I'm like, hey, so I know you have access to ABC, which like, because it's hard to tell American audiences. Now it's a little bit easier now that 2 seasons are on AMC. So once we get the 3rd, I'll be golden. But yeah, Australian couples or people, I'm like, so you can watch this for free, unlike the rest of us, all 3 seasons. So you should be taking advantage of that for our sake. For the people who don't know how to pirate, you get to watch it without having to pirate it. So do it. Both my mom and my dad, each separately, like have Australian coworkers who I've been like, oh, they're Australian? Tell them to watch the show. And they have. And they love it. So, just gonna say, you should all be watching it. First 2 seasons on AMC, 3rd season gotta be coming eventually. I also remember having my hot take of, oh, so everyone in here is an asshole except for Nolene. Dale and Helen notwithstanding. I mean, I just gotta know where to watch it. I just love the way you are. It's good shit. It's good shit. I need to get on. Why aren't they selling? I tried to buy the newsreader on DVD and they don't sell it on DVD. Bring back physical media because, yeah, when I was searching everywhere of like, how do I watch this? Back before I got a sneaky link, I was like, I'll pay money to watch it. I don't care. Like, it's that good. I'll pay for it. And there's not even, like, there wasn't until more recently with AMC without pirating or getting a VPN and stuff. And even with the VPN, I got a VPN and then it was like, yeah, but we can tell that you're not actually in Australia, so you can't watch this. I was like, I want to watch it. I will give you my money. Let me give you my money. So yeah, I'm excited to announce that I feel I am in a stable enough emotional space to finish the newsreader! Everybody give Sydney a cheer! We've not watched the final 2 episodes of the newsreader. Well, Sydney hasn't. Obviously, I have. Because she had a like really big deadline for her calendar. But she's finished it like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, at some point, we gotta finish it. So, yay! Get ready to cry your fucking eyes out, Sydney. Okay. I believe this is Sarah, ex of 1013, or is that no? That's Rebecca. That's Rebecca, right? Have you ever seen Hannibal, the TV show? I have. Like back in 2018, I was really sick one day. I was like, you know, I've heard a lot about this show, and this seems right up my alley. And I watched like the first 3 episodes, I think. And it wasn't doing anything for me. Which I'm really sorry, because I know that there's a lot of crossover, like Interview with the Vampire and Hannibal fans, and maybe I just need to give it another try when I'm not sick. Who knows? But yeah, let me know. Would you guys say that the first couple episodes like take a while to get into? Amanda says she was the same. Yeah, I don't know. Like it just like I said, and maybe I went into it with too high expectations because I was like, oh, from everything I've read about this, I'm gonna love this show. This was made just for me. And I think I also like I guess I wasn't like fully expecting it to start out more as like I don't want to call it a cop procedural because that makes it seem Law and Ordery. So yeah, maybe I just had the wrong expectation for it. But I don't really like care a whole lot about watching like the detective-y shows. Like with murders and stuff. I don't know, like so Maggie said it took me a good while to fully get into Hannibal. Around what point? So I have like I love Hannibal, but you really have to be in the mood for it. It's like an odd art housey show. At what point would you say I should know whether I'm really into it or not? Like, should it be like what episode for the people who watched it really where you were like, oh, okay, I'm into this now? At what point was that? Because I'd be willing to give it another shot if I could be convinced that I would have a different reaction. I don't know. Time off in the chat. I've got a couple of shows that like I need to watch though on my list that we keep talking about. Sydney and I. That now I can't think of. What is a TV show? What is television? Yes. Sydney says Yellow Jackets. I gotta watch Yellow Jackets. I'd say watch the first 5 eps. It does get more homoerotic as it goes on. For me, it was after season 2, so a long time. That's a long time to like, let it get into a show, but we'll see. It does get more into the character psychology rather than the crimes as the show progresses. Like there was also my problem with. Have you guys watched Lucifer? That was another show where I was like, oh, this is about the devil, getting bored with hell and wanting to come hang out on Earth, and that's like this was obviously before all the stuff that we knew about Neil Gaiman and everything, which like, oof. But isn't that one of his, like, based on one of his graphic novels or something? Maybe I had that completely wrong. I could have that completely wrong at this point. But yeah, I started watching Lucifer, and it's like it is a straight up cop procedural until like the last 5 minutes of the show. Like, if we could just compile the 5 minutes of every episode of Lucifer, that would be a fun show. I would watch that show. But like, I don't give a shit about what's her fucking name? Officer Decker? Like trying to solve crimes and like the devil's gonna come up and try to help solve crimes on Earth? That's stupid. Give me supernatural, like not supernatural. But like heaven and hell shit. All the stuff with like I said, it wasn't until the last 5 minutes of every episode of that show would they give you some intrigue about like Michael or whoever coming down, or Gabriel being like, Lucifer, what are you doing here? This is not where you belong. You need to go back down in hell. And all that stuff. I gave that show, I went like 2 seasons waiting for it to stop being a cop procedural. And it never, ever did. Oh, why would you do that? Why would you have the devil be a character in your show and not constantly having him do devil shit? And I'm sorry. Officer Decker is like a blank piece of cardboard. She had nothing. I didn't understand why he was so compelled by her. She was just gorgeous. Other than that, whatever. I've seen quite a few comments coming in. Let's see. Oh my god, the end of the pilot episode to the second, they did not fuck around getting into the gory shit. Oh, okay, I think you're talking about Hannibal. I'm alright with gory shit. Not your standard detective show, and it's very wordy, so you need to be in the mood to concentrate. Which I'm okay with. But yeah, again, I like just don't really kind of care so much about like the crimes. I do like this. Obviously, it goes into psychology and everything. And Hannibal's he's a psychiatrist, right? Or is he a psychologist? No, he's a psychologist. Because why would they have a psychiatrist consulting? Like, this is the meds that these people need to be on. But yeah, I'm good with that. So who knows? Maybe I'll give it another try, and we'll see. I'll give it 3 episodes. Does that sound fair? I know you said it might take longer, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh my goodness. More. Okay. Let's see. Lucifer was a family. Wait. No, there's more. There's so many comments came in. The second season of The English Teacher just came out on Hulu? What? How did I not know this? Sydney, we gotta watch The English Teacher season 2! Yeah! I loved The English Teacher! Everybody watch The English Teacher! It is so funny! And it's just great comedy television. I did like a whole video on it last year on Autumn Nights. I won't get into it, but it's a great, great show, and it's a really easy watch. And there's a season 2 out now, apparently. Also, I know we're past this, but I didn't mean Dale doesn't have a bunch of his asshole moments too. It's just that he's a fave, so it doesn't count. Every Dale asshole moment is warranted. He can act however he wants to, my baby cinnamon princess. Okay? Okay? My beautiful little pinched sphincter with the blow dry. Sydney says we have to watch all 15 seasons of Supernatural. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Okay, now to Sophia. Lucifer was a family show for me, but for a while, and I did stick it out and did enjoy it, but the final season really felt weird in the context of the rest of the show. Oh, interesting. And Meridian says, yeah, the writers twisted that concept. I think Sandman would be up your valley. Can I also say, is this a safe space? I watched a few episodes of The Sandman too, and it also didn't do anything for me. And I don't know why! Because it just... I don't quite remember, but I just felt like, it was really slowly paced, which I'm fine with that. But, like, if you're gonna have a slow-paced show, it just didn't... I remember just thinking I was making myself watch each new episode. And it just didn't, like, really wrap me in for whatever reason. Like, I was just waiting and waiting. And, like, it's a beautiful show. And it's, like, really cool concepts. But I think everything just felt kind of a little subdued for me, if that makes any sense. Gwendolyn Christie fucking served, though. Oh, fantastic casting there. I loved her as little cherubic Lucifer. That's one that genuinely, I'm gonna say Hannibal, I don't know if I'm gonna give it a rewatch, but The Sandman is one that I, like, have thought about. I'm like, again, it was that right after I just moved from Tennessee to Colorado. I wasn't doing great. So maybe it was just like a headspace thing. That's one that I've, like, really thought about. Maybe I should revisit that one. Very genuinely. Because I don't know, it just seems exactly like I love the concept, and, like, dreams are, like, everything to me. And I love stories that, like, you know, delve into dreams. So that one I genuinely might actually really revisit for real. Oh, what was that? Okay, sorry. Comment. Gwendolyn Christie is a queen. Anything she does is magic. Anything she does is gold. Oh yeah, Jacob is in The Sandman. So I think that's when I was like, oh, well, maybe now's a good time to rewatch The Sandman since my good buddy Jacob's in there. Cause yeah, he does look very cunty in that robe. I know you said you're not big into detective stuff, but Deadlock is so good. It has a strange, almost Killing Eve season 1 sense of humor to it. Deadlock? I've not even heard of that. Interesting. Oh, I watched American Gods. Well, I watched the first season, and then it took forever to get season 2. Like, it was all up in the air on if it was going to get canceled or not. And then I didn't have, because it was on, like, Showtime or Stars, right? And then I didn't have that anymore. And I've just, like, kind of forgotten about it since then. But American Gods I thought was really fucking cool. And Julian Anderson as David Bowie as like not really as David Bowie, but like was kind of. Who was she? She was the god of like media. Media. Is that what she was? Who she was? Ah, yeah. American Gods was super fucking cool. Let's see. Oh my gosh, so many comments. Blah, 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 blah. I finally got past 100 pages of my Interview with a Vampire TBL fanfic. I've never written more than 30 pages. I've just been so obsessed with Lestat. What's your fanfic, Michelle? I'm always down for more fanfic. Chime off in the chat if you write fanfic. Plug yourself. We Are Lady Parts. It's a British comedy about a group of Muslim girls in a punk band. Amazing. We Are Lady Parts. Gillian, you didn't stick around Hannibal long enough to see Gillian Anderson. That bitch pops up fucking everywhere, doesn't she? You can't get rid of her. I love that. I want to see her in everything. She, if you guys haven't watched The Great, that was, oh my God, the first 2 seasons truly like made me like nearly as crazy as Interview with a Vampire. Like that was like my top show too for a long time. The 3rd season was kind of hit and miss. And then Hulu fucking canceled it. So we'll never get a 4th season to try to like even out the issues from season 3, which I'm very disappointed in. But she pops up in The Great as well in a fantastic role. It's like just for, I think, 1 episode or maybe more. But Gillian Anderson is amazing. X-Files for life. Okay, guys, as we all know, as how I always end my streams, because we do need to wrap up, because it's been like 3 hours. Congratulations, everybody. Whoa! Oh, okay, sorry, but Hacks, Teal, so good. Another one. Hacks is hilarious. Jean Smart could rule the world. Jean Smart's another person who I want to see in everything. Oh, I just need her to tell me what to do with my life. And then, like, slap me a couple of times. And, she's amazing. Okay, but as how I end all of my streams is with a desperate need to pee. So with all of that, I want to say thank you guys so much. Oh, no. Oh my God. No, I can't. Not yet. I can clinch. This is why we do Kegels. Okay. Patreon drawing. Let's go. Okay, first one. That's blank. Why did I put a blank slip in here? Okay, drawing number 2. Hopefully it's not blank. Katie Rhodes. Woo! You shall be receiving a sticker. All right, next up, we're gonna draw 5 names. Kai. I'm gonna draw another one. Kai doesn't count because she's gonna get a sticker regardless when I go to New York. So, yeah, that would be unfair because, like I said, she's already gonna get a sticker. Okay. Oh, I pulled 2. Well, shucks. What the fuck? Well, I pulled Katie's name again. She's already getting one. So, there are so many. Do you see that? How did I pull the same name twice? I mean, because she's, well, there are her 2, entries in there. So I can't pull it again. Anna Carolina! Oh my God! You won, girl! Fantastic. Okay, who else is next? Who else is next? Hello? Hello? Let's see. We got Taranam. Taranam. I shortened your name, but it's like Taranam de Guerre. Is that what it is? You're gonna get a sticker. Fantastic. Let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh. Well, this person won last time. So I'm gonna just, again, we're gonna throw that one out. I'll double up their stickers because I've got to send them their stickers from last time anyways. But it was Jasmine. Next up. You got worm cord. You got it. No fucking way. What the fuck is happening today? I don't know why I put your names in here. Amber, again, I'm seeing you in New York and you're getting a sticker already. So we're gonna keep going. I still got 2 more names of people that aren't already getting stickers. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, next up. Is this, I pulled Amber's name again. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on. Look at this. Okay. Savannah from KC. She's at a Ren Fair today, but she's getting a sticker. All right, last and final name. It better not. What if it's Sydney? Seriously? This person won last time too. What the fuck is happening? What's happening? I'll double this up again. Okay. It was Rebecca. Wait. Did Rebecca win last time? Well, if she didn't, I'm still going to pull another name. Jennifer Lackey! Alrighty. Congratulations to everybody. What a fucking wild little... How did I pull the same name? Well, twice. 2 different times. Wow. That's insane. Okay. So we got Katie Rhodes. We got Anna Carolina. We got Taranam de Guerre, Jennifer Lackey, and Savannah. So, congratulations to all of you guys. If you're, please DM me on Patreon, your address so I can send these out. I will be sending these out later on this week. So hopefully you guys will see these, in your mailboxes sometime the next week. So I will pee now because, oh buddy, she gotta go. Thank you again to everybody who hung out. This has been a blast. And if you enjoyed, oh my God, stop it, Autumn. If you enjoyed hanging out with me, I do live streams every month on my Patreon. You know, just a little personal plug for you guys. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, if you're going to NYCC, I'll see you guys there. And I'm trying to end it on Sydney's computer, and I'm like, where's the end button? And that's not how I do this. So anyways, ta-ti-ta, and I will see you guys next time.